James Rosone's The Suwalki Crisis is the second installment in the A World on Fire series, a techno-thriller saga that imagines a near-future global war scenario. Set in 2033, the novel depicts simultaneous crises in Europe and the Pacific, where NATO faces collapse in the Suwalki Gap, while China attempts to quarantine Taiwan, triggering AI-driven naval warfare. The story begins with NATO launching Eurodefender 33, a massive military exercise designed to reassure Eastern members. The 70th Armor Regiment of the U.S. 1st Armored Division deploys to reinforce the Suwalki Gap, a narrow corridor between Poland and Lithuania that is strategically vital for NATO. Control of this corridor is essential because it connects the Baltic states to the rest of NATO. If seized, Lithuania, Latvia, and Estonia would be isolated and vulnerable to occupation. Across the border, the Russian 1st Guards Tank Army and China's elite 81st Group Army participate in the Eurasian Defense and Economic Pact (EDEP) exercise, the largest European military maneuver since the 1980s. Behind the scenes, however, this exercise conceals a trap intended to shatter NATO and subdue Europe. Russian forces prepare to strike across the Suwalki Gap, while Chinese cyber and AI warfare units coordinate with Moscow to destabilize NATO's command systems. Meanwhile, in the Pacific, China initiates a quarantine of Taiwan, deploying naval forces and AI-driven drone swarms to enforce its blockade. The U.S. Navy responds, leading to confrontations in the South China Sea and Philippine waters. The novel emphasizes the role of artificial intelligence in modern warfare, showing how autonomous systems, cyber attacks, and drone fleets redefine combat. The narrative alternates between European and Pacific theaters. In Europe, NATO commanders scramble to reinforce the Suwalki Gap, but political divisions and logistical challenges hinder their response. Polish and Lithuanian forces fight desperately to hold the line, while American units face overwhelming Russian armor. In the Pacific, carrier strike groups clash with Chinese fleets, testing the limits of AI-driven naval combat. Civilian perspectives add depth to the story. Families in Lithuania and Poland confront the terror of invasion, while Taiwanese civilians endure the uncertainty of blockade. These human stories highlight the broader consequences of geopolitical conflict, grounding the military narrative in personal stakes. The climax of the Suwalki Crisis occurs when Russian forces launch a full assault on the Suwalki Gap, threatening to cut off the Baltic states. NATO's response is fragmented, revealing the fragility of alliance cohesion. Simultaneously in the Pacific, US and Chinese forces engage in a high-stakes naval battle where AI systems malfunction, creating chaos and unintended escalation. The resolution leaves both theaters in precarious balance. NATO suffers heavy losses, raising doubts about its ability to defend Eastern Europe. In the Pacific, neither side achieves decisive victory, but the confrontation signals a dangerous new era of AI-driven warfare. The novel sets the stage for further escalation in subsequent volumes of the series. Structurally, the Suwalki Crisis blends military strategy, political intrigue, and human drama. The pacing alternates between detailed battle sequences and reflective passages on the consequences of modern war. Dialogue reveals the tension among commanders, politicians, and civilians, while descriptive passages emphasize the sensory impact of combat and crisis. Overall, the Suwalki Crisis presents a detailed account of NATO's struggle to defend the Suwalki Gap, China's quarantine of Taiwan, and the global implications of AI-driven warfare. It offers readers a continuation of the A World on Fire saga, emphasizing the fragility of alliances and the dangers of technological escalation.